What's up, guys? It's your boy Zeke here to talk to you today about Real Madrid's glorious victory over Atletico Madrid in the Champions League semi-final derby. And I'm gonna just leave this picture of Cristiano Ronaldo right here. This just enjoy the many awesome shades of Cristiano, because obviously today was his day. This was his match. He showed up when his team needed him the most. Nothing else can be said against him. He's done it. So I'm gonna just leave this here while I go into the podcast. Enjoy. Let's get straight to it. Right off the bat, we have to give credit to the man of the hour, the myth, the legend, the unforeseen, he is still declining but still manages to score hat tricks against one of the best defenses in Europe, back to back, Bayern and Atletico, Cristiano Ronaldo. In Spain, they call him Cristiano. Anyways, credit to Ronaldo again for just slapping Atletico another 3 times. I'm sure just like the FC Bayern, they're already sick of him just coming through for his team against them. Again, like you said, today he also set a record for scoring back-to-back hat tricks in the Champions League. Never been done before, ever in the history of the Champions League. But on to another topic. Again, I don't know if anyone notices this, but I hope I'm not the only one, because it's very depressing. Because Casemiro, again, directly involved in assisting Ronaldo for the second game running, or I say the third game running. The first one was the first leg versus Munich, where he gave the ball off to Dani, and then Dani crossed it in and Ronaldo scored. The second one, he literally assisted Ronaldo with a cross, to open up the scoring, to equalize after Bayern's penalty in the second leg. And now he has done it again by giving Ronaldo the first goal in the derby. Hats off to Casemiro. Not only is he good defensively, but he's also starting to produce these crucial assists. That's not his main job at all, but when he does it, man, it is something to remember. And also hats off to Ramos. Today was hands down his best performance this entire season versus Atletico. Him and Varane were having a very hard time trying to find out which one of their pockets to put Griezmann in. Griezmann and Gamero and Carrasco. I didn't notice any of them, especially Griezmann. Quiet night. The last time I saw him on the pitch was when he was running back to make a defensive clearance. But other sources say the last time he was seen was going into the Bernabeu, but they never saw him on the pitch. And there's still a lookout, a poster for him, in case you find him. Call 1-800 Atletico. They really need him for the second leg. But on to another thing I also want to talk about is, yes, we won 3-0, but I think the last time we won 3-0, we had a 2-0 scare that almost knocked us out of the Champions League, if not again for Cristiano. And that was versus BVB in the 13-14 season, where we finally got our quote-unquote revenge on them, only for us to put in a very shambolic second leg versus them, with which Marco Reus almost had a hat-trick, and Mickey, who now plays for Man U, could have almost had himself a hat-trick too, if not for the bar and a little bit of Iker. Again, that's one of my fears, even though I'm very confident in this win. But if you've noticed from the comments of the players, none of them are like overly celebrating and whatnot. They're just, they're focusing on the next game. I love that mentality that our guys have. They're just focusing on the next game. No one is, getting in over their heads. Oh, we beat Atletico. Yeah. If this was Simeone, he wouldn't stop talking about this. He would obviously throw in a few jabs in there and, again, be acting like he just won the CL final. But again, it's on to the next game, and I'm hoping for another repeat performance like this in the second leg to fully secure our place in the Champions League final. And credits to Keylor. Jesus Christ, man, that save he made in the opening minutes of the game, I think that could have just inspired the players. The minute Koke continued to just slice through our defense, man, I thought it was gonna be a goal again. But man, he came off his line and just got the ball, and it was the coast was clear. And next thing you know, Ronaldo scores, and the rest is history. Woo! This was a complete performance from the entire team all around, except for that is the 2 yards away open goal that Benzema unsurprisingly managed to miss. Honestly, I read the quote somewhere that he's a midfielder that gets mistaken as a striker, and that quote, in my opinion, continues to hold through. Even though he is a striker, you know, he's very good at, you know, creating and linking up and doing everything that, you know, the average midfielder does. But the fact that he is a striker, you'd expect him to at least, you know, put on his clinical boots in games like this. But it's like whenever he gets in front of goal and is about to score, it kind of looks extremely unintentional. It just bounces off his foot, or most likely goes straight to the keeper. Anyways, I'm not even gonna focus on Benzema. But hey, shout outs to Isco. This is his first meaningful CL game of this season, 16 to 17 season. So far, for whatever reason, he wasn't played against Bayern and both legs, even though we went through without him. But now, I think Zidane kind of just like says, you know what, there's no choice. Isco is still at this moment our most informed player, with Cristiano right up there next to him, right there next to him. Oh boy. But enough about Madrid. Let me just give Atletico a little credit, because if you have been watching them closely, this could have been their greatest era in the club's history, because not only have they won, you know, a handful of Europa League trophies. Imagine if they didn't have to go up against Madrid. Just think about it. Imagine if they didn't have to go up against Madrid. They would have 2 Champions League trophies alongside their plethora of Europa League trophies, on the way to, you know, achieving a 3rd Champions League trophy in 4 years. This would be like the greatest period in Atletico Madrid's history. But of course, big brother Real Madrid just has to let them know, like, you're growing up, son. You're growing up, but you're not old enough yet. Sit down and behave. Couldn't have said it any better. And again, speaking of credits to Zidane. He got everything right, from the subs to the tactics, and I don't know what he tells his players, but so far, like, the second half just continues to be more and more lively, and the team right now is peaking at the right time. This is like the crunch time of the season. You know, we're out of the Copa del Rey. You know, everybody was exhausted. There was the injuries, and, you know, the flip-flop in forms, and then maybe one player was like consistent and everybody else was just, you know, all over the place. But right now, everyone is in fine form and everyone is peaking. The only downside to this right now is Dani Carvajal and his injury, or what seems to be an injury. From what I've read online, it looks like they're saying it might be a muscle tear, which I hope it's not, because that would mean he'll be out for some time. And right now, right now we need him to get through the next game and get through the second leg, because Jesus Christ, man, he has been massive against Munich, and he has also been massive against Atletico. And to see him go down during that game was just, that was probably the worst moment of the entire match to me. Oh boy, but I wish him a speedy recovery. Him and also Bale. Speaking of Bale, I don't know if it's you or me, but I think his importance is overly exaggerated, because so far without him, the team, this is the second time this season this team has played better against Atletico. I'm not even gonna consider all the other matches where we've done well without him, but this is the second time we have functioned greatly without him. Just think about that. I might do a video on it depending on, what I think, because I don't want to look like I'm out here just criticizing him. I might do a video. I might not do a video on it, but I'm just gonna put that on the back burner for now. But on to another topic. Real Madrid have continued their long-standing history of shocking the world, shoving the hateful words down the haters' throats for, consecutive times this season. They've continued to produce their best football mentally and, on the pitch for the second time. Well, this is probably the umpteenth time this season. They've continued to just, shut everybody up. They've broken the longest Spanish win streak record. They've, done everything that, they said they couldn't do. Even when, because Barca is playing well, Madrid can't do it. Well, oops, look what happened. They did. And what a bounce back from the Clásico. Who would have thought, after losing the Clásico, the players' comments were again, we're just focusing on the next game. We're not happy with the results, but, we have to think of the next game. And boy, have they bounced back from winning against Sporting and against a tough Valencia. And now a 3-0 win with, complete performance versus Atletico. All credits to them and that midfield trio of Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro. That god combo of Modric and Kroos. It is honestly, in this day and age, in my opinion, there's nothing like it. There's just nothing like it. Yes, we have had Iniesta and Xavi, but now this is Kroos and Modric's time. Honestly, I think Modric has another maybe 1-2 years in him before he starts to, come down. And obviously Kroos still has like another 5 years because, his job doesn't do too much demanding. And he's also a smart player. He plays smart. He rarely gets exhausted. Ever. But man, this is Modric and Kroos' time right now. There is no midfield duo that can do what they do, especially right now. I don't think there's a midfield trio that is as complete as them. Attacking, offensively and defensively, with Casemiro just being a complete wall. Even though at times you can see Kroos telling him where to go to break press. Anytime Madrid is being pressed, Kroos just starts yelling at Casemiro like move, 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 move. Casemiro just like stops ball watching and then moves to a position where he can receive the ball and then take it out and take stress off off our defenders. And speaking of defenders, Nacho Libre, the dependable, ever dependable, the only guy right now that we have that can play across the entire back four, whether he's a left back, right back, center back, you name it, Nacho can do it, and he can do it well at a quality level. I'm pretty sure if he had left last summer, he'd be in the first team of any team right now. Any team. That's just how good he is. Right now, we have a very deep, quality, talented squad. And it'd be a shame to not end this season with a trophy. And keep in mind, we are beating Atletico when we are striving forward without one of my favorite players, James Rodriguez. Even though it hurts me to see him on the bench, but then again, he's a number 10 that was brought in to try and fit into a formation that requires central midfielders. That was just never going to happen. Even though it worked under Ancelotti, but I think Ancelotti used a different kind of 4-3-3. But this one that Zidane is using, a spot for James. Unless, of course, he can evolve like Isco into a CM. I honestly see him gone this summer. Even though I've said before I want him to stay. But I honestly see him gone this summer, man. He's missed too many important games. He's fit. Nothing's wrong with him, but anyways, that kind of depressed me, but I'm gonna end it there. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. I'm out.